Alright, so today we're talking running, and more specifically, how do you start to run faster? Obviously, if you're getting into running, getting back to running, you just want to know how to run faster, this is what we're going to talk about today. And specifically, I want to talk about people that are starting from a really low base. So maybe you're a mum that's getting back into it after having a couple of kids and taken 5 years off, or maybe you're an office worker and you haven't done any real activity for 5-10 years. I specifically want to talk about that because when you are starting out, the injury risk increases dramatically, and this is where a lot of people go like a bull at a gate for the first couple of weeks, and then they start to have issues, whether it's plantar fasciitis or knee issues and that sort of thing, and those sort of things can creep up really quickly if you are overdoing it in the beginning. So I often think the key place to start when we're kicking things off for our running is look at 3 times per week, and if we can, up to around about 5k. So we're accumulating about 15k a week. That's week 1. So the way I like to break that down is like a Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. So we've got at least one rest day in between, and yeah, we're hitting a decent number of Ks there. So the subsequent weeks, probably for the next 3 to 4 weeks after week 1, is that we aim for just to increase that slightly. So we've got our 3 5Ks, we're accumulating about 15 kilometres. Week 2, our goal should be around 17 to 18 kilometres accumulative. So that might be 6 or 7 on our Sunday, one other run of like 5k, and then you might have one other 6k. Next thing we want to do, week 3, is try to get that up a little bit further. So then we're starting to push our longer run up to about 10 kilometres after about 4 weeks. And then the other runs should just sit around that 5 or 6. The key thing with these runs is that they're nice and easy. So if we're used to, for example, we used to be maybe a 25-minute 5k runner, I really want you to slow all of the runs down and run at like 6 or 7 minutes per k. So we're looking at 30 to 35 minutes to get through that 5k. Slowing it down and building that base back up. Our aerobic base is best developed, so all of the capillary adaptation, everything like that is best developed when we're at 70% of our max aerobic heart rate. So we shouldn't be really puffing and panting and trying to get through this 5k. It's at a nice easy level, and it reintroduces us mentally into the state of getting running and getting back into running, rather than if you're trying to go at a bull at a gate, you're sitting at your threshold and really struggling to get through these 5Ks. After 2 or 3 weeks, you're just not going to want to do it. You're just not going to want to be there, and it's very hard to get that motivation back up. So if we just look at, for the first 4 weeks, we've got 3 runs a week, nice and easy, and we're trying to get that up to maybe, so we might have 2 5Ks and a 10K, so around about that 20-22 kilometre per week mark we're averaging there. So the next point is that we add in another run, and that run might be, say, our Saturday run. And what we want to do here is keep our long run around about the same, but let's drop these 3 back so that they're all at 5 kilometres, so that we're only accumulating about 25 kilometres per week as opposed to that 20 to 22. So it's not a massive jump in volume there. You've just spread it out and you're getting used to those runs again. Again, for the next 5 to 8 weeks of this block, of the 4 days per week, we're just building those runs up. In particular, like we might be let's just keep our 10, maybe we build that up to 12, at 15 at absolute max, we build that one up, the long run. The other ones we can just keep at 5 or 6, or maybe we start building those up to 7 or 8. So by the end of it, we're looking at, we've got 15, and say we've got 12, we've got the 7 here, so 19 and 10 is 29. Maybe we get 30 to 35k a week. That's our goal at the end of this next block of 4 days per week. Again, leave this nice low intensity, just building up, just getting things happening there. Around that 70%, again, that's what we're looking for, so that you really get used to running and building that aerobic base back up. So now we're at around about the 8 to 12 week mark in. Again, if everything's going really well, everything's progressing, you're feeling good, there's no niggles or injuries or anything like that, that's when we can move on to 5 days per week. With this, again, we've got our long run on our Sunday, but then we might add a Wednesday in. So we're running then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, resting on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, rest on Monday. That's going to be our format. Again, when we start this block, let's leave our long run around about that 12. Every other run, let's leave that at 5. So our first week of this needs to be 20, 30, around 32. So we're actually not increasing much from that 30 to 35k per week mark. And then we pick and choose which one we then want to build up. So that's the way that we slowly progress up. If we're at the end of 16 weeks, we've done all of this, we're all injury free, that's when we can start to look at adding some speed, adding some tempo, and getting things moving. But if you're thinking long term with your running and you really want to get back into this, maybe you want to do a marathon ultimately, or you just want to feel like you're running fit again, this is the way to do it. It's just nice, long, easy running, slowly building up, getting used to running again. That technique will come back. But ultimately, it's just not pushing yourself too hard in the intensity side of things, but letting your body really adapt to everything that's going on again. Thanks again for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more advice around running, performance and fitness training. Talk to you soon.